Welcome to this presentation on the substance Khat. My name is Meghan Heffner, and I'm a chemical health specialist with Youth Service Bureau. The Youth Service Bureau helps youth and families learn the skills they need to be more successful at home, in school, and throughout their community. A few of the services we offer include youth-focused family counseling, diversion services, including awareness classes, youth and family education, and school-based chemical health. We are located in Cottage Grove, Stillwater, and Woodbury. You can get in touch with us by phone, through our website, email, and Facebook. Khat is a drug found in the leaves of a wild East African shrub called Catha Edulis. The plant contains a central nervous system stimulant called cathinone. The leaves, twigs, and shoots of the shrubs are usually what is sold for drug use. Khat is native to East Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, where the use of it is an established cultural tradition for many social situations. Here are a few different slang or street names for the substance Khat. Khat is typically chewed like tobacco, then retained in the cheek and chewed intermittently to release the active drug, which produces a stimulant-like effect. Dried Khat leaves can be made into tea or a chewable paste, and Khat can also be smoked and even sprinkled on food. There are many different intoxication symptoms of the stimulant Khat. Some of these symptoms include manic behaviors like delusions, paranoia, nightmares, hallucinations, and hyperactivity. Some of the physical symptoms include loss of appetite, difficulty breathing, increases in both blood pressure and heart rate. Those who are chronic users of Khat can experience, once again, blood pressure and heart rate increases, stained teeth, gastric disorders, physical exhaustion, violence, suicidal depression, liver damage, and cardiac complications. Some withdrawal symptoms include cravings, fatigue, depression, irritability, an increase in appetite, nightmares, increased need for sleep, insomnia, excessive sweating and feeling hot, and even tremors. Khat chewing is an important social ritual among Somali, Yemeni, Kenyan, and Ethiopian cultures. While it has traditionally been a custom associated with older Muslim men, Khat use has expanded to include women and younger people. In countries where its sale and use are legal, Khat is sometimes used to treat fatigue, headaches, colds, and depression. It's unclear whether the health risks associated with Khat use are directly related to the drug cathinone, the consumption of caffeinated drinks that intensify the high, or if they're partially related to inhalation of secondhand smoke in poorly ventilated chewing houses. Many people who use Khat do not wash the leaves before chewing because they believe washing the leaves will reduce the drug's potency. So some of these health problems may also be the result of toxic pesticides. Mental health conditions associated with Khat use, including psychosis, have been documented but are not well understood. Khat use is also associated with symptoms of depression, mood swings, and violent behavior. Research has indicated that Khat use can cause relationship and social difficulties, particularly when its use takes men away from their families for extended periods and when a large amount of money is spent on the drug. Caffeine is a Scheduled 4 stimulant, and cathinone is a Scheduled 1 stimulant. It has a high potential for abuse, no currently accepted medical use and treatment in the United States, and a lack of accepted safety for use under medical supervision. Khat is legal in many other parts of the world, including Ethiopia, Somalia, Yemen, and Kenya, where it is commonly seen as a food rather than a drug. According to the World Health Organization, the effects of khat consumption are similar to those of strong coffee. However, it is hard to differentiate dependence from addiction to the psychoactive compounds in khat, as there is a lack of criteria to make such a determination. All right, well, I am here with Nimo, and I will let her introduce you and just tell us a little bit about herself. So Nimo, you can go ahead.
Hello, my name is Nimo Saeed, and I live in Washington County area. I'm a mother of 7, and also I'm a medical assistant. I've been in the medical field for the last 20 years. I'm also an instructor for mental health first aid through M Health Fairview. I also am a director of operational director of Youth and Family Circle in Ramsey County, in St. Paul to be exact. I wear many hats, so I kind of like multitask. So I do a lot of different things with the community. And right now, my kids are going to Fridley on middle school or elementary school and elementary school. That's me. I'm a combination of different things.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. Nimo, we have had some people ask us as chemical health specialists in the school districts in the area, just kind of, they want to know more information about khat, and we don't see it often in our students, but we still have some families and kids in our school districts that we want to be mindful of, and just be able to give the accurate information and being able to just share more information about it with our community members, with our educators, and with other families. And so, we've done some research. I'd love to hear more from your personal perspective about, what do we need to know about it? Not only, there's the different cultural pieces, religious pieces. So if you'd care to share just a little bit more about that, we'd love to learn.
So khat usually culturally, when I grew up back home Somalia, it was culturally okay, and it was kind of like drinking coffee, kind of like that, where it was okay for men coming in from work in the afternoon and just kind of, eating the khat and never really pay attention to what does it do to the body or the mind, or how does it financially affect to the families as well. But since, here in the United States, we notice a lot of the older generation is not the young generation so much. I'm not sure, maybe there is, but I'm not sure a lot of the young generation are kind of eating khat, but mostly my generation or the generation older than me are usually kind of like that. It's kind of my religion, because anything that's going to mess up your mind is against my religion. If you put anything like alcohol or khat or drugs or anything that's going to play with your mind, it's against my religion to put it in your mouth. But culturally, khat is okay. Not so far at the alcohol, but culturally, khat is kind of, similar, okay, but it kind of messes up with your mind. Financially, it's really expensive, and it's also illegal through the United States. So if, let's just say, for example, if the dad is eating khat or something like that, if he gets in, through the legal system, it'll be really difficult for the families. Financially, it's really expensive since it doesn't grow here and it goes back home. It's kind of expensive. So that kind of financial, will put dents to the family as well. So there's a lot of bad or worst experience through the families. So that's so much I can, that's so far, there's a lot of things that we can talk about it in khat, but that's so much I can think about right now.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was very helpful. And, from your nursing standpoint, do you have any information about, the effects of khat on your mind, on your body that we should be mindful of?
With the medical experience that I have, let's just say if you drink like a lot of coffee, you are like irritable. And with some experience of the male roles that in my family that it's been eating cat or eating cat before. I know they usually go through like withdrawals. They usually go through like, when they're eating that cat, their mind is somewhere else. They can like, they are creative. They think they can do all of those kind of things, but it kind of messes up your mind. It really messes up your mind. So you're this invisible person that who can do anything they want while you're dead. And as soon as you finish, some men will not be able to sleep all night because they had that chemical into their body. Some of them it will affect in sexually. Some will affect like kind of like just during the day, the whole day they will be fatigued. They will not be able to help their family. So there is a lot of ways that it physically can hurt as well, but not like where I don't know if the doctors or the medical fields if they did any study would actually do in like bloodstream or like physical, but just the signs or the symptoms that you can see as somebody. Okay. That's the only thing I can think of.
Thank you so much. Yes, very helpful. And my last question for you is, I know that Nimo, you mentioned it not as prevalent among younger generations. If we do see it, whether it becomes more prevalent or we do have kids who are using it, what should we be telling teachers or other parents? You kind of mentioned some of this with, the cultural piece and the religious piece, but anything else that we should, keep in mind as we educate others?
I think just like any other substance abuse, like kind of like, make sure you guys talk to the child or their parents, kind of maybe ask them to seek counseling or therapy that, so they can kind of deal with, with the addiction or with the withdrawals or however they are like into deep. Some people can just have maybe one, like, let's just say they will use that today and then maybe a year or 2 years, they don't have to. And some people it's consistent, just like anybody else with, alcohol problem or drugs problem, kind of like that. So if you guys will see within the schools or the kids, the first thing that I would suggest is just kind of talk to the person and get the help that they need.
Great. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Nimo. We appreciate your personal expertise and knowledge and information. We are so grateful. And thanks for being here.
I'm glad I can help. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If you or anyone else you know is impacted by substance use, please reach out to us at the Youth Service Bureau. Again, we have school-based chemical health services in districts 622, 833, and 834, as well as chemical awareness classes and on-demand chemical health podcasts and resources at ysb.net. And here we all are as chemical health specialists in the school districts. So please again reach out if needed. Thank you for joining us today and be well.